Good afternoon and welcome to the Scent Social. So what is the Scent Social? Well, essentially I'm going to do a little video where we talk a few categories, a few themes, all things fragrance. It's like a report today. I just wanted really to put together a few of the things I've been reading about online for fragrances and yeah, just make it into a little video for those that are looking at interesting things in the news or 2025 releases, which we're going to look at today. And of course, I like doing the ChatGPT videos. So what I'm thinking, we're coming up to that sort of season now where it's Halloween, I'm sure you've got birthdays, anniversaries, and obviously Christmas time isn't that far away as well. And I want to take on ChatGPT, as I normally do, and see what they'd recommend as gifts for family. But let's say we've got a £100 budget. What would you buy your mum? What would you buy your dad, brother, sister? And you're going to have a £100 budget, and I'm going to come up with some ideas. We'll see what they come up with as well. So yeah, this Scent Social, which is my new sort of feature, let's say, for today, just talking all things fragrances, and hopefully you'll learn something new from this. So what we'll do, we'll start with the fragrance headlines. What is currently in the news regarding fragrances? This first story came out on the 23rd of August, so at the end of the summer, and it was very interesting. The headline grabbed me, to be honest with you. Eau de courgette. Rise in foodie perfumes may be linked to weight loss drugs. So what it's talking about, and I'll read it exactly what it says. A rise in the number of sweet food-scented perfumes on the market could be linked to an increase in the use of weight loss medication. Launches of the sugary scented dessert-themed fragrances have increased by 24% in the last year alone. This includes scent profiles such as vanilla, coffee, and caramel. So we know anyone who's into sort of fragrances at the moment, designer fragrances are all about caramel, toffee, vanilla. And what they're saying is it might be to do with the fact that obviously people are having these weight loss drugs. They're not as hungry, but they like this smell of sugar and stuff that they're lacking from their diet. So this is a theory from market research from Mintel. So there's been some research that actually maybe these weight loss drugs are making people obviously miss that sugariness from food. So they're trying to get it from the olfactory senses, essentially from smelling fragrances. Very strange. I don't know so much about that. I personally think it's just compliments, but obviously I know things like Ozempic and Manjaro have really, really got popular. So maybe it is. Maybe it's very true. Maybe sometimes when you are hungry and you're not having those sugary things, same. Maybe we just like a sweet treat through our noses. At the end of the day, all our senses are combined. So that was the first headline I found. The second one was one that came out actually this week, 1st of October. Now, this is a UK story from The Sun. Doors opening, beauty fans rejoice as Boots reveals new type of store coming to the UK in weeks. Shoppers can expect something fresh and exciting landing soon. What they are doing, Boots are releasing their very own first fragrance only store, and this will open at London's Broadgate Central on October the 23rd. The site will cover 2,150 square feet and promises a perfume paradise for shoppers. So anyone living in London, you're going to have a fragrance only Boots shop. I'm very, very jealous because actually Boots do a lot of the expensive fragrances as well. So that's something we need to do. We need to visit this Boots only or fragrance only Boots shop when it opens. We will do that in a future video. But yeah, very interesting. It just shows again how popular fragrances are becoming. If you don't know Boots, they do things like foot pads and stuff and plasters and all sorts of other things. Literally anything you need medication wise, they do. But they're now starting to do their own beauty only shop, which is very, very interesting. And then the last one, a little bit of a quirky one as well. Obviously, we've just come out of the summer. I'm sure anyone who lives in hot climates will know mosquitoes are a problem. But actually, there's some fragrance notes and some science going into this that there's certain sprays that can actually fend off um, mosquitoes. Some from Victoria's Secret, but this one by Diptyque. They just brought back their annual summer collection with the secret weapon to warming off bug bites, the lemongrass and geranium body spray. So apparently lemongrass and geranium are two notes that apparently they don't like. So yeah, the limited edition body spray featuring citronella and geranium saved my limbs from bites last summer. So apparently, according to people, this fragrance is actually a mosquito repellent as well. And there's plenty of research going out there at the moment that you can get certain fragrances and they're going to make certain fragrances that do two jobs in one. So for example, mosquito repellent. So yeah, very interesting to see that now certain fragrance notes are actually not only obviously for compliments, but they're actually scaring off bitey insects. So yeah, if they can get one for spiders, I'm all for it. So yeah, they are the headline stories over the last few months. Let's go on to some 2025 fragrance releases. What's come out this year that we maybe haven't really heard of? When there's like a new release, or like say a 2025 fragrance release, it takes about a year for people to kind of ever notice them. You don't get many adverts for it, and obviously I think people wait to see what people's opinions are of it as well, maybe fragrance reviewers and stuff. But there's been a fragrance released by Aramis this year. Certainly not this one that came out in 1966, but I love Aramis. I love the original Aramis scent. But they're trying now to move away from these old school smoky fragrances and go into the blue fragrance range. It's going to be interesting to see how this does. But they released one this year and it's called Aramis Intuition. Now on the perfume shop, 100 ml of this, £87. I think for this type of scent, that's going to be very, very steep. Particularly again, because Aramis don't normally touch into those sort of blue fragrance range, but they're trying to now. So this fragrance, the sort of main notes, it's an eau de parfum. It's got grapefruit, lavender, and vetiver. Now, what it also has, it does have a leather accord, but I didn't realise Aramis has their own unique leather accord, which is obviously which makes this so iconic. That leather note in this, and it's called Curissima LXR. Is the exclusive Aramis leather essence. So essentially, this is a blue fragrance. It's a bit more of a, I think, sophisticated blue fragrance, but obviously grapefruit, lavender, vetiver. It's very much, in that sort of mold. People say ambroxan's in this as well. There's not a huge note breakdown for this. At the moment, it's not getting the best reviews, and I think the big reason is people who obviously buy Dior Sauvages and stuff, which has been compared to Prada Lunar Ocean, they don't go for Aramis. They think of Aramis as this being old, and the people who like Aramis, like this old school scent, they're not going to really like this. This is too far removed. Aramis Adventure is one of the best blue fragrances I've tried, but it didn't do very well, and that's why it's been discontinued. I think it'll be a great scent, but I'm just not sure if Aramis is the company that should be marketing blue fragrances. I know they're trying to sort of become that more modern fragrance brand. I think they need to stick with what they're good at. Right, let's have a look at what else has been released in 2025. So the next one, I have to say, I was really intrigued by the name of this fragrance. It's a Jean Paul Gaultier flanker of Le Male. It's Le Beau Flower Edition. Now, that makes you think it's going to be quite floral, but if we look at Fragrantica, the main sort of accords are citrus, ozonic, aquatic, aromatic, woody, musky, green, amber, powdery, fresh. Essentially, again, it goes back to what we were just saying with the Aramis fragrance. Companies are just looking for really clean, fresh, easy to wear fragrances. Now, in terms of its current rating, it gets 3.99 out of 5, 726 votes. The notes in this are kumquat, I don't know how you pronounce that, lemon, middle notes of violet leaf and geranium, base notes of cashmere and tonka bean and patchouli. Again, all very, very familiar notes. Spring summer fragrance. Now, the people who have sort of given reviews and opinions on this are basically just saying it smells like hairspray and just like having a shower. It's clean and airy, a little bit too aquatic and ozonic for a lot of people. Again, I think people who are obviously writing reviews on Fragrantica are probably expecting a bit more, but let's be honest, this isn't what these companies are looking for at the moment. They want clean, safe, easy to wear because that is what people are buying. And again, if you're into your fragrances, you like that extra complexity normally. But yeah, that doesn't mean that they're trying to appeal to people like us as well. At the end of the day, this is a very safe fragrance. It sounds like it is anyway. But I just thought the name was interesting because personally, before I looked at this, I thought, oh, flower, it's going to be quite a floral fragrance. But it looks like a very citrus, clean, easy to pull off fragrance. But yeah, if anyone's tried it so far, let me know what you think. Right, on to the third one. So yeah, as we said, versatility is the name of the game, and one that came out at the start of this year. It's another flanker from Spicebomb. Again, these iconic brands or iconic fragrance names, they're just making more and more flankers because that's what the people are familiar with. So you might as well make a Dior Sauvage Elixir or, Bleu de Chanel exclusive, all these extra ones because that's what people know. So they go, oh, it might have that vibe. This one apparently is an all-year fragrance, and this one by Victor and Rolf, Spicebomb Metallic Musk. So it's musky, fresh spicy, warm spicy, cinnamon, aromatic. So it's basically saying, yeah, you've got the sweetness, but you've also got the freshness as well. So what are the notes in it? So aldehydes, black pepper, elemi and bergamot, cinnamon pepper, lavender, musk, leather, ambre, and labdanum. It gets 4.25 out of 5. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's not bad at all. Let's see what people say about it. Um, Yeah, so it's quite metallic. People say it smells like metal or copper. That's not true, is it? Again, people are probably thinking about the name. Um, yeah, it starts out like the original Spice Bomb, but the dry down's more of a soft musk. Again, it just sounds like a very calm, yeah, sophisticated, refined fragrance. Problem is, as I said, when you're starting to pay these prices, which we're probably talking, this isn't cheap, £60, you you want a bit more complexity. That's what I find anyway, which is why I don't tend to go for these designer fragrances. You get a lot of cheap freshies, but again, if you know the name, it does matter to a lot of people. They don't want to be researching fragrances. They know they like Spice Bomb. They know this is the type of Spice Bomb fragrance, and they'll go for it. But yeah, very interesting. Metallic musk. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more coming out from them over the next few years, that's for sure. But I've never had Victor and Roll Spice Bomb. I never know if I'd like it. So yeah, if anyone has had Victor and Roll Spice Bomb, just the original or Spice Bomb Extreme, let me know what you think of it. Anyway, we're going to talk about now what would we buy our family for a sort of special occasion. We're going to have £100 budget. We're going to take on ChatGPT now. So essentially, I've got £100, let's say, and it's coming up to obviously holiday season. There's plenty of special occasions coming up. So I'm going to pretend I've got a brother, obviously mum, dad. I don't have a sister, but what I'm going to pretend is I've now got a sister, Harriet. So not just Harry, I've got a sister called Harriet as well, just to confuse things. So what I'm going to do is £25 each, £100 to spend. What would I buy mum, dad, my brother and sister? And we'll see what they come up with. So we're going to start with the sort of teenage brother who cares about his appearance, but he's never really been gifted a fragrance before. So I'm picking one that's about £30 to £40, and it's Hugo Boss Hugo Man. Now, what I like about this one, first of all, he'll recognise the name. Everyone knows Hugo Boss. You can get this in 125ml, 200ml as well, so I can get a bigger bottle for him. I can spoil him. The notes are green apple, lavender, pine, woodsy notes, and balsam fir. It's very approachable, very light, very easy to wear. So whether he's meeting up with friends in the summer, you know, just, or maybe, you know, he's got a girlfriend that he wants to sort of meet up with, he knows this phrase isn't going to be too daring, but he's going to smell well put together. And I think it's pretty memorable. It's going to remind him as he gets into fragrances, that was his first fragrance. And yeah, it's going to bring back amazing scent memories. So yeah, what's your fragrance for your teenage brother who's a bit of a rebel?
I love that thought. For my rebellious teenage brother, I might go with something like Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. It's got that classic vibe, but it's also a bit bold and fun. It's got that minty freshness mixed with vanilla, and it's got a little bit of an edge to it, so I think that would definitely suit his personality.
Okay, so the gift I'm getting for my sister. So I've already spent a little bit of money, but this one's not too expensive. This is about £15, and it's called Vibrant Caramel by Zara. Again, Zara, very well-known brand, so she'll recognise it, and she probably shops there herself. Well, I know she does because she's my sister, so I know she gets plenty of clothes there. Now, what I like with this one, you can wear it all year, and it's a clone, or not a clone, but it's just got a similar vibe to Prada Paradox. So she'd appreciate that. Top notes though: bergamot, tangerine, apple blossom, praline and vanilla. So it does go into that sort of fresh opening, but that sort of sweetness. And I love praline. Christmas time, that's absolutely perfect. I think she'll like this. It's quite youthful, quite juvenile, and yeah, she'll certainly smell just as nice as all her friends do. So that's what I'm going to go for the sister one. What's your choice?
That sounds like such a lovely choice for your sister. For mine, I'd
I
probably
don't
pick
have a
something
sister,
like
by the way.
Dolce & Gabbana light blue for women. It's fresh, it's elegant, and it's super
She spent all
versatile.
her budget though,
It's
didn't
got
she?
those citrusy top
She's
notes and
got
a
to pay
nice
for the
floral and
parents yet.
fruity blend, so it's perfect for any season and definitely youthful and lovely.
Okay, so for my alpha male father, what fragrance have I gone for? Well, I've gone for Pinot Sylvester, the original, which came out in 1955. This has a huge note breakdown, but it's only about £10 again. Super price. It's got juniper berries, basil, lemon, lavender, bergamot, pine tree. It's certainly a forest fragrance, and the pine is super strong. And I think that resembles Christmas time, so I think he'd appreciate that. I love the bottle as well. It's got that sort of Christmas tree sort of vibe to it as well. So yeah, for someone who's a bit of an alpha male, quite brash, this is definitely going to do it with that pine carnation. Super strong, super in your face, but that's what my dad wants to be. What's your choice of fragrance for your father?
I love that pick. For my dad, I'm thinking something like Dior Sauvage. It's got that bold, fresh, and slightly spicy vibe, and it's pretty well loved and recognizable. Plus, it's got that
I
masculine,
don't think so.
confident scent that he'd definitely appreciate. It's also pretty versatile and easy to wear, so I think that would be a great fit.
You're spending a lot of money on your family. We did have £100 budget, but don't worry, we'll ignore that.
Absolutely no worries at all. It's all about the thought and the fun of choosing the perfect scents.
Okay, and then for mum, I'm going Police to Be Exotic Jungle. Now, what I like about this fragrance, first of all, the bottle. Mum will love the bottle. I just love all the police ones, but the skull sort of with the floral sort of component to it, it's very colourful, very bright. That's a standout in itself. But let's talk about the notes in it. So it's got top notes of plum, blackcurrant, lemon, middle notes of heliotrope, osmanthus, jasmine, base notes of vanilla, suede, and patchouli. So it's got that sort of fruitiness, but then also that more grown-up vibe at the end with the sort of leather suede. So I think she'll appreciate that. It's only £15 for sort of 125 to 200 ml, and she's going to keep the bottle after it as well. So she'll be very happy with my purchase for her. What's your choice for mum?
That sounds like such a lovely choice. For my mom, I might go with something like Joe Malone Peony and Blush Suede. It's elegant, floral, and has that lovely balance of freshness and sophistication. Plus, the bottle's beautiful, and it's a fragrance that feels really timeless and luxurious. I think she'd love it.
So some very different fragrances there that I came up with and ChatGPT came up with. Down to you. If you know those fragrances as well, tell me which ones you think were better. So they seem to spend a lot more than me, so they're cheating anyway. And they copied my bold design idea for mum. But yeah, that is it for today. So that is our scent social. So we've looked at sort of headlines that are a little bit bizarre over the last few months, whether that's mosquito repellent sprays. We definitely need a spider one. I hate spiders. I'm scared of spiders. Shops opening in London that are, Boots, a fragrance only store. Got to go to that. If anyone goes to that before me, let me know if it's worth it. And yeah, just sort of generally talking all things fragrances as well. So it's very interesting to see what new releases are this year. Aramis Intuition, love to try it, but I just don't know if it's going to catch on. But yeah, you never know. You never know. As you can see, fragrances though are definitely becoming safer, more versatile, more unisex. I don't think that's a bad thing, even if us sort of fragrance enthusiasts probably want a bit more complexity. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this one today. Please let me know any of your recommendations of fragrances to try as well. As I always mention, I'm always open to new ideas. I'd love to try any that are out there. Be more fragrance reviews to come. We're going to do a live stream this week as well. That is a mission of mine as well, so we can have a little bit more of a chat at these things. And hope you'll be there to join me. I'll make sure I schedule it in good time, so if anyone does want to come along, they'll be able to come and they'll know when it's coming. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you later.